Hey, welcome everybody. Sorry for the short delay. I was gathering some new info that might impact your Pillage purchases one way or the other, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. We'll talk about Pillage, some future changes to the game, and I'll go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. The link is in the right-hand side in case you'd like to join the show, but Magic Mike, how are you doing?
Doing great. Happy,
Cool.
happy whatever it was birthday, and for BP, and happy Pillage.
Very nice. And Jeff snuck right in there. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Doing okay. Nothing terribly exciting, but it's all working out so far. Ben
Hello, everyone.
and Aussie.
Good morning, everybody.
Yep, 7:06 a.m. Everybody.
Yes, it is.
Yes. I guess the first thing that we should probably talk about is Pillage. It's a fairly easy yet potentially monotonous event, depending on how you're doing it. It makes me a little bit worried with the how well the prototype seekers are doing in the event. How we may or may not want to have built the proto Apollos. So I'm not sure if anybody's built them, but we'll see. But I'll go from not sure if Magic Mike is still there. I guess he's not. I'm going to go from left to right. Jeff, how is your Pillage going?
Good. I'm getting the top targets with just doing the Eradicator once and then free repairing, and do that twice a day. And
Okay.
then just grinding away at the lower ones with the protos and their buddies.
And the Hydras?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's free, so that's just a grind.
Yeah. It's I'm keeping that repair time for my FM fleet. So I'm just hitting the 80 and the 63, and it appears that I'm hitting the 80 a lot more than the 63 because since I just can auto it, when I scroll over the Pillage thing, I have over 100 more 80s than I do 63s because I'm forced to drive the 63s. So, but it's going well enough. Ben, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm grinding the 80s and 63s, map repair, driving the 63.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky where my FM's already done. So I'm sending my batteries in on auto on the 100s.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do about 7 of them before I get a 4-hour repair.
So you're taking about a half an hour damage, or?
Yeah, on auto.
Okay. Yeah, somehow one of my ally mates is, I'm not sure if he's out there, he's getting instant on those, and I'm not sure how or why or whatnot. I need to investigate more on that. He's getting auto for instant repair on the map, which I'm not quite understanding, but yeah, I don't, Mr. Raptor, if you're out there, you can come on and explain.
That would be nice to know, that one.
Yeah.
I want that.
Yeah. And Aussie, you've been quite productive with this Pillage event.
Yes, just using my Eradicators. The 101s, 102s, my Eradicators. I can do 3 of each, and then it's pretty much fleet's dead. And then I'll do the 100s later on. But yeah, mainly grinding out the 63s and 80s.
Yeah.
80s on auto and just driving the Hydras.
Okay. Yeah, you have about 10 times the amount of points I do. So, because you're still at like, what, 2.6 million, 2.7 million?
Yeah, something like that. I can't look at the moment. Oh,
Okay.
yes, it can. Oh, yes, it
Filthy
can.
coiner.
No, and that is 0 coin, not 1 coin. I haven't even accidentally hit the instant repair for 1. If it goes over, I haven't even accidentally hit that. So, and if I do get 5 or 6, 7 minutes damage, I just go in, repair it, come back out.
Okay. Okay. Well, it seems like um, it's an event for everybody's got their choices. If you want to get a lot of points quickly, really quickly, you can blitz it. Semi quickly, you can hit the 100 targets. For a modicum, a decent amount of points, you can still hit the tier 7 targets, the 80 and the 63, and not be too grindy or too stressful because even though you have to drive the 63, it's not a lot of driving, and there's not a huge points requirement.
It's nice.
And we have 4 days.
It's nice.
So, Mike, you're back.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay.
80s and 63s work good.
Okay. Alrighty. The thing I was going to mention that, why I delayed the show a little bit, I got an answer and then put it in the slide. If you just go to the first one, the bug fixes one.
Yeah, I gotta get my keyboard there. Okay, got it.
Okay. Last raid we were asked to, if you had, let's say you had the Nemesis in my example, the Nemesis, the Arch Nemesis, and the Saturn, I was asked to get 4.5 million in order to unlock the tier 8 store. So the question I've been continually asking is the Praetorian, our next FM haul, is that going to be in the lock store or be a requirement to unlock the store? So it appears, 12 minutes ago that it was a requirement. It's allows you to most likely unlock the tier 8 store. So that's currently planned, so don't blame me, but right now I'm not sure that I'm going to claim the Rock Ring Saturn. I have the points for it, but we'll just see how. I'm not making it as much of a priority because I don't think I have any desire to actually ever build it. So,
Unless they reverse things so the Saturns are the rock card one this time.
well, I'm still not going to have time to
Well, that's true.
build.
And you've turned yourself off.
If I don't have a chance to build them, I'm not going to use them. So, maybe at some point, as some sort of collector's thing in 3 years, I'll get it in a chest as opposed to getting, some sort of advanced resources. If that day ever comes. So, but yeah, this is. But my assumption is if it's in the unlock store, it will be you normally have to get something in the unlock store in order to unlock the store. So my assumption at their current thought is it'll be in the unlocked and allow you access to the lock store. But, they change their minds at points. So, if you got the extra points, go ahead and get it, Cuttlefish is asking in chat, do we know if there's going to be additional tech coming out with this haul? Weapons, special, potentially armor. I don't think anybody knows at this point. There has not been any indications. We'll have to wait till Tuesday. I think Tuesday when the raid briefing is coming out.
Given history, though, my expectation is they'll have all kinds of new stuff.
Yeah, but as we talked about on the Wednesday show, they have this new thing of, I don't know, at least for the raids, of drawing things out and not putting too much pressure, quote unquote pressure, on at the beginning. So I don't know what they'll do with this. I mean, it would make sense that they would have a new rocket or missile, and then maybe a special to go with it. Maybe the if it's a missile, who knows? I don't know exactly. Maybe I do need to claim more. Yeah, who knows? I'm not even gonna get into just rampant speculation. So, unless somebody else knows something about that. Nope. Okay.
Just that
I
they say
post.
it's coming. That's the only thing that worries me. They did say there's more coming. Tier 8 assault, which means more
Yeah, there's
refits.
2 more, which we've always see. Okay, as far as the assault, I think that previous question was about the garrison stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do expect 2 new pieces of technology. They're going to be shard drops on the. We've already had the 100 and the 102, so I guess the 104 and the 106. There'll be shard drops from those targets in the upcoming raid. And who knows what they're going to do? I'm a little bit concerned as far as our ability to design our ships that aren't cookie cutter, from the fact that I have currently, at least my arch nemesis has 5 specials that have come from the recent technology. Well, no. Well, some of them have 5. Well, basically, we've gotten 5 specials at this point that are tier 8 aimed at the nemesis. And now we're getting a 6th special. So that really limits, in some ways, the ability of players to come up with different builds, which is great for them if they can plan for the high-tech build, because that way they have to do a little less testing. So, but yeah, I don't know what they are. So, I don't know. Does anybody have anything else on the current pillage? I'm also planning to claim the Gale 4s. I have a few of them, but I'm expecting that that's going to be the one of the preferable countermeasures, along with the MS or MDS 3s.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I'm claiming those as we move along. So, anybody else have anything they want to discuss related to any of that?
Well,
I'm thinking about getting all the lowered corrosive mounts, even though they look like they're not a good idea, just in case. See what happens with somebody else's build. That one looks questionable, but I'd hate to not get 5 of them and find out it's the kick butt way to do the next raid.
It does have some, I think the 68. Let me go to Mike and let's go to that. Can you find that slide, Mike?
The one for the lowered.
Yeah, the lowered corrosive mount. Just so people know what we're talking about, because it has a lot of good things.
Hey, good.
There we go.
Second try.
The one that I find the most impressive is the corrosive and penetrating survival. Again, you divide this number by 64, and you get the extension of your armor pool. So I think it's 106% addition to your base armor. So that's pretty significant. And I think the reason that they put the negative 120 turn speed on there is to prevent people from putting it on their nemesis, because it has the balance of combat speed versus turn speed is important. And with the Saturn, your turn speed is still most likely higher than your combat speed is still most likely higher than your turn speed, which doesn't make it that bulky of a drive. But if you put it on the Nemesis, your combat speed is more than twice your turn speed. And that's when you really start noticing things becoming very difficult to drive. And I'm not a Saturn driver, so I'll let anybody else that owns the Saturns and done well with them talk about it. Okay. Jeff, you have the Saturn, right? As we were
Yeah.
talking about.
And that's what I'm holding off on this because, I mean, it does add all that survival, but it also is going to like double the amount of time it takes to do a target. You're going to be crawling across the screen at the next thing you're doing.
Well, you have a bonus combat speed. It knocks 20% off. If you could take a look and see how much actual speed that knocks off, does it knock off like 3 or 4?
Yeah, only 3 or 4, about 5, I think.
Okay, so it's not.
Because I also have the Hydra, the 30s, Hyper 30s, speeding it back up. So they counterbalance each other.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
Unless that's the special that it dropped when I put them on. I'm not sure which special I want to drop when I put these on.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask because I haven't put that much time looking at the Saturn because it's. I don't actually ever plan on building it. Like what you would want to drop in order to put this on.
Yeah, it's a tough call because the Hydra 30s, I'm not sure are doing anything, but at least I'm getting the speed boost. But this would make them crawl even slower if I replace the Hyper 30 with them.
Yeah, because then it's a 50% difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If we're done with the Saturn, we can go back a little bit to what we were talking about on Wednesday. Go to the multifaceted whatever, the Nemesis special, Mike. There we go.
Multi-lens.
Yeah. The multi-lens target tracker. I'm only putting this one on my personally, I'm only putting this on the Arch Nemesis because you have half the addition of the penetrative accuracy. It goes from plus 60 with the optical tracking down to plus 30, which doesn't bother me at all on my Arch Nemesis because I only have 2 missiles and I have 4 MDS-3s, and I like the addition of the projectile speed. Which will help those fire faster and encounter things further out from me. Both are retargetable, and I get the addition of 80 sonar range. So I'm not planning to put it on all because we've seen that some of the subs in these targets have high evade. So I don't want to lose that additional accuracy without me gaining much besides projectile speed. So. Anybody else's thoughts? That's Nemesis driver.
I'm doing this.
I'm going to put 2 on. One on the Ark, and one on one ship, just in case.
In case you lose it, or
No, just to give it a little bit more range. You know, because
Okay.
you're driving your Ark away from the rest of your fleet most of the time
okay,
to draw in the subs. So depending on how far you're putting the Nemi away or the Ark away, I just thought, no, I'll just put 1 on 1. It's not really going to make that much difference, I don't think, on one ship. You're still going to have plenty of accuracy on the rest.
yeah. Cuttlefish is asking how big is the difference between plus 14% total weight versus 20% weapon weight. Can you put on another missile? On my build, you cannot add another
I
missile.
could not.
Yeah, it's like an additional 230 tons.
It was way more than.
Yeah,
Wasn't
the only way
close.
you can do that is you have to drop your ferro armors down to, the special armors in the limited stores.
Yeah, like a
It's the only way
D6,
to drop enough. Yeah, it's the only way.
D6M or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. I'm just sort of surprised personally that they dropped the penetrative accuracy on the new one and made it offensively not as powerful as the tier 6 special. But I think it's cool they gave us this decision. So,
but that's it. Isn't it? They're trying to give you decisions. Which one do I do? Do I do it for the extra sonar range or projectile speed, or do I keep the penetrative accuracy? Yeah, they're giving you something to think about again.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, not like the Saturn drivers. They gave us something to think about, but do I do it or I do not do it or not? But this one's a little bit more tactical, which I appreciate. It's just sort of surprising.
Yeah, see, I'm the same as you because I haven't got a Saturn. I have no idea what I would do with that.
Yeah,
with the Saturn one, I have no idea what I would do because I haven't even looked at it.
Yeah, it is tricky because these hulls are so different.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because it drops that, I know that he said it only drops those 3 or 4 combat speed, but that can be a big deal because the damn things go that slow as it is.
It's exactly 4 miles an hour slower, is what I found.
4, is it? Yeah.
Okay.
But
I
can be a big deal though.
Couldn't take it in the place of the Hyper 30s because it didn't let me switch it for the Hyper 30 for some reason. There must be an incompatible switch there.
Yeah, go to the. I haven't even looked at that. What is it? Could you go back to that one, Mike? One forward. It's probably building damage or projectile speed.
It can't be building damage because the other one doesn't have building damage. It's got to be.
I don't know what Jeff has on his ship, so I'm not sure.
But it's the Hyper 30 it's incompatible with, so I can just look at what that adds and figure out which one it's.
Oh, okay. So it's not compatible with the Hyper 30. Okay, I thought you were gonna. Never mind. I misunderstood you.
Weird. Because there's nothing really there, is there?
No, it's just he was right. It's projectile speed it's incompatible with, but that's crazy.
Oh, it's a projectile speed.
That's crazy to worry about that.
It's Hyper 30 got projectile speed.
Yeah, I didn't notice it before now either.
Yeah, plus 30.
I never noticed that either. Weird.
Something we really didn't care much about.
No, didn't look at that. I never looked at splash and speed.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay. Alrighty. And I posted the link again in case anybody'd like to join. Is there anything that anybody'd like to talk about with the diary, or we've been talking a little bit about the next raid, which is the second raid, and what we assume is a 3-part series. Is there anything else that or should we actually talk about I don't know if there's that much to talk about the Praetorian. We don't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
So
We
I
could
say we
talk
don't have any
about-
spec shit.
That's becoming a theme with Kixeye, isn't it? I think I've heard you guys say that every show lately. We don't know much about it yet. They don't give us much in the way of
They don't
pre-planning
seem to give
anymore.
anything anymore. It's like, here's a picture.
Yeah, I mean, they did with the CM diary. They did give us a little bit more knowledge of what we expect in the future, but we don't normally get stats on something this far out. It's just become more difficult to jump to assumptions because they're doing things differently. Because we could assume only build 4, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. because there will be a flag, and we gotta assume that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we thinking? It's like the next level up on the FM targets, which is yet to be seen, and what kind of counters and or weapons we got to have to get those to happen, and then what happens to the 120 121s? Are the Greta's still going to be able to, or the Inferno's still going to be able to do those? It's like, I don't know. Maybe because I missed the Wednesday show, you might have talked about it, but
Yeah. One of the things that you've done, and I know Ren have done, is to a certain extent. I'm not sure about the rest of you. Oh, Ben's done it as well, and I have not done. I've only got to U1 on all of my dragons. Is the performance increases that you've seen by going to U2 on things and U3 on others, right?
yeah, they really are much better.
They are much better.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay, it sort of sounded like aren't. So I just wanted to clarify for people.
I only did the U1 though, so I'm debating how far to go.
I thought you had U2 on some of them.
One of them I think is U2, but I don't remember if it was the Greta or just one of the regulars.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I wanted to get them back on the water, and the FM. I don't know if we're going to talk FM, but the FM is ridiculous. It's just collecting those prizes or those tokens to get, and then you don't know how many kits you got, but I guess you do when you go ahead and build one. So you got.
Oh, when you click on it, it tells you how many you've got.
But you have to have an open shipyard.
Oh yeah, you have to have
Yeah, so I guess at that point you need to kind of keep mental track of what you got.
Basically, the math on the kits for the dragon is one set of kits for 1 million points will do one dragon all the way to U3.
That's right. And hi, everyone.
Hey,
All
Ren.
right.
And then the Greta, you need to get 3 of those packs in order to get that one to U3.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just trying to get them all, and I figure I can't get many more than that, so it should cover what's available at the time, I guess.
Okay. And Ben, yours are all at U3, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so is Ren's.
And
I have one U2, but the other.
You have all 5 at U3, Ben?
yes.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Okay, great.
And so you're driving yours, Ben, or you're autoing?
If I auto, I take like 30 minutes damage. If I drive, I take 8 minutes.
Okay. So eight minutes, meaning 8 on the water or 8 on your dock?
8 on the water. So basically break it down in instant.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm doing where I can get I have to wait 3 or 4 minutes on the Greta to repair, and all the rest of them are quick, are instant in the dock.
Yeah.
So I'm getting like 23 minutes maybe roughly on average.
Yeah.
So the Greta's taken, and that's why I want to update the Greta, and it's taken the most of the damage. But I've been switching them out and leading at the end of the night. I don't know if I said this already. Did I? At the end of the night, I switch out my.
You're not driving all 5, right?
I'm tanking, okay, but I'll do 3 with the Greta, and I'll do 3 with like ship 2 as the tank. I can do 15 targets when I use a different tank each 3 set. And then I go to bed, I got like 9.5 hours repair, something like that, and I don't use a crew. So if I throw a crew on there at the end of the night, I might be able to reduce that somewhat. But I can get 15 targets before I go to bed and only have 9.5 hours repair. That was last night, and that was before some upgrades. So I'm expecting maybe I could do better tonight. Did that come out right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of tested the same thing too, leaving one ship out of the battle. I always have to use the flag because pretty much all my countermeasures are on it. But the other, like I can switch which one's tanking. I don't, but I'm leaving one ship out. Like I always go in with the flag and 3 ships and leave one
Mine
out.
too, Ren. But I actually drive them all 5 at the same time. But I'll leave the Greta in with the pack and lead with any one of the other ones.
No, okay, I got it. So you just alternate the
Yeah.
you alternate the leading ship, the tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it seems to work pretty
So we're
good.
doing different. What I'm doing is leaving one ship out of the battle.
Gotcha.
And with the extra damage they're doing after the upgrade, you really, for the current targets, you don't need all 5 ships. You just take more splash damage when you drive them all.
I'll have to try that. Okay. With 15 targets, I'm wore out after that anyway. So
Yeah. Then I tried 3 ships, and then it's not as good. But 4 seems to be a sweet spot. You still
Nice.
kill everything real fast, and you take less. It was 1 ship less taking splash damage.
I've got a question in the side chat. He's just asking, does anyone know what you get in the Kickside present boxes?
It
Does
varies.
anyone
Get
know?
cake. So if you don't open up to tomorrow, the cake's gonna spoil.
Okay. So do you know what's in them?
looks like resources to me.
Okay.
Resources and old blueprints is what I've seen.
I got a bunch of old ships from 5 years,
Yeah.
6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to change the slide. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Improved my completionist collection.
Now, when I'm driving the 120s with my dragons, I do alternate my lead ship, my tank. So that helps cut the damage down on them. Otherwise, it'd be all the damage on one ship.
It's funny when I drive them stacked, I don't have that problem. Like I don't have one ship that takes more damage than the others. I don't know why.
Just my tank takes damage.
Okay, but
whatever
if you
one's
drive
in-
them stacked, when you drive them stacked, do you see them all kind of taking the same amount of damage? That's, I guess, my question.
they don't take damage.
No, that
Because
doesn't make sense. I mean, if you drive all ships stacked together, no tank, no ship leading, all 5 stacked.
Oh. if they're all 5 stacked, yeah, they take even amount of damage.
Yeah. That was my question. Okay. So same behavior I have.
Sorry,
Got
I misunderstood you. But
No, sorry.
I'm also running a crap load of countermeasures in my fleet. I only have 4 rockets on each dragon.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
The rest are... I got 1 sprint, and the rest are anti-morts on each dragon. So... And
Yeah, I only have the Gale 4s on the flagship. I have 5, and that's it. The other ships have no anti-mortar at all.
all right. And I stole your idea, Ren, and I went with the penetrative resistor because I don't have the extra penetrative sync drives to use right now.
Right.
And that cut my damage way down.
Nice.
Okay.
So,
And I'm waiting. Like I'm piling up penetrative resistors. I have them. The reason I didn't refit them on the dragons yet, not the resistor, the sync drive. Sorry. The reason I didn't refit is because I'm waiting to see what else comes up with the what's the new ship's name? Praetorian.
Would you want to put them on all
For the
all of
dragons?
them though?
Well, I mean, again, I'm going to wait and see what comes out. But I tested, and having the pen sync drive on the flagship helps a lot. I didn't put on the other 4, but it's something I'd be willing to do. on the Dragons, but now I'm going to see what the Praetorian comes out like, and maybe I'll just put them on the Praetorian.
Yeah, and how fast are you going to be able to build them? The Praetorians relative to the number of, so, if we're still going to get 2 sync drives per week, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have time to get that done, right? But I don't want to do that until I see what's coming out with the Praetorian. What specials? Is it going to be an explosive sync drive? Is it, what's going to be, right?
That's a good point. I just realized I wasn't collecting them because I'm not building the Nemis, but I guess I should be collecting them for this.
Yeah, you never know.
And it's funny because on my Nemis I put the corrosive sync drive, and I've saved the pan sync drive for the Saturns. But I'm not building Saturns like fast. I'm only building them as I get tokens. So it's sitting there. My FM fleet's priority for me. So versus a second assault fleet, right?
Exactly.
But now I'm happy I built the Saturns because I can use all those corrosive or the penetrative ones for the FM fleet.
Yeah. I mean, if they don't release any new engine for the Praetorian, in all likelihood, I'll tell you, I'm going to put the pen sync drives on them because they need pen survival. And that special gives a lot of that and good speed.
Now, see, I put the penetrative sync drive on my Saturns to raise the penetrative survival.
That's my plan as well. I agree with you. The Nemis, I run the corrosive sync drive.
That's interesting. I went the other way. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because I make mistakes, right? I mean, if you're a great driver with a great connection, putting the pan sync drive on the Saturn, on the Nemesis, is the right thing to do. But every target or every other target, I make a couple mistakes, and the scatterguns fire, and because of that, I just decided to put the corrosive and give them a buff. It went from like low 70% survival to 95, 96% survival just with that special. That's good, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll learn a lot on Tuesday as far as how much further investment. Well, we'll learn a little bit on Tuesday. Is how much investment that we continue to put in the Dragons versus the Praetorians, and how well they might work together.
I hope they're a compatible speed so we can sort of phase them in instead of not being able to use them till there's 5 of them.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I do
But,
too. They're going to make it some difference in speed.
Well, although if you put the pen sync drive on them, they're all going to level by the slowest chip, so you could do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That drive will sync them no matter what.
Yep.
My worry with the Praetorian is they're coming out with a special target for that one in the weekly.
Eventually.
Oh, you know it.
I'm afraid they're going to do like they did with the Dragon and lock it out of the 120s and 121s. Like they did the Dragons with the 111s.
No, you mean the opposite. You mean lock the Praetorians out of the existing targets. Just like the Dragons can do the 111, right? That's what you mean?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
And are you? I don't use my icebreakers. Are you allowed to use the icebreakers on everything or not?
Yeah.
I use them all the time. Every time I'm out.
No, but I mean every target. Every target you can hit with icebreakers?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you mean? I do the 111 with icebreakers. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, like, can you do the 120s with icebreakers?
No.
Okay, that's what I meant. Like, does it lock you out of doing the 120s?
I don't know if it locks me out. I don't even try.
No,
Okay.
You'd end up dying anyway.
Because even
you're allowed to hit them.
yeah,
But
even the 114.
Okay.
I think you can use the icebreakers on the 114, but they get trashed.
Okay.
yeah. That's the thing. They just melt.
And I don't know if I could make my icebreakers any better, but the icebreakers I have are running charged armor, and these higher targets, they all neutralize charged armor like almost instantly.
Okay.
For the 111 is sweet.
So we've covered the future of the FM, the Praetorians, some things about the upcoming raid, Pillage. We talked. We talked last week about the CM diary and the portion of it that Mike, you want to go there, that dealt with.
Oh, I just shut it off. Okay, I got to hold on a minute. Because I didn't think you had me on present.
Well, yeah, because there was no reason at that point.
Okay, well, that's why I shut it off. Okay,
Okay.
should be. Maybe I have to. I'm
Screen
sorry.
share.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just seen if there's other things that we want to talk about, as opposed to, unless we're still,
I literally just shut it off. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, if you want to go to the CM diary,
okay. here we
the
go.
part I found a little bit concerning was this is the one. The first rate of the month has more.
Oops. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Had more build pressure associated with it than the remaining months, and they're planning to, I don't know if flatline's the right word, but normalize that pressure across the entirety of the cycle.
What is the meaning of the word pressure? Coining, right?
Coining /
that's-
whatever,
Okay.
That's what I think it is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for the
Pressure
first,
means the coiner.
they're saying openly that the elite targets, even in the first raid, are tuned for a full fleet legendary with the flagship.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you spend quite some amount of money, not talking about bucks,
They're
I'm talking
using
about
funny
50
words
bucks
to
plus,
say
right?
just that you need to have some coins out there.
Yeah.
This my take on it.
Yeah, but in a way they're right. I mean, the pressure to, like, if you want to be ready for the first raid, you gotta drop in $50 or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the other months, not so much. I mean, if you don't coin at all, but you get the components and just low build them with FM tokens, you're gonna be ready for the second raid. You're gonna have the ships and you're gonna have the flag. They might not be top notch because they keep releasing components, and if you're slow building, you're not going to have time to refit, but you're going to have them done.
I just wanted to put the
right?
definition of that pressure out there. So there's no mistaking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right.
Pressure to spend money.
Carry on.
Yeah, but we found that people were hitting, as long as you had the flag, people were hitting the high level targets with less than that. At least with the Nemesis people. Because I think there's people that were hitting with the flag and 2 or 3 other ships, and they were getting instant repair on the map for the 102 for the Nemesis people. The Saturn, just the way it's constructed, requires a full fleet with the stacking bonuses.
Well, it requires a full fleet to be in the battlefield, but you could, if you're careful, you could keep 2 in the corner, 3 in the corner, right?
And did that work out
As
well?
long as
That didn't
it
work
was
out so well
doable.
because they saw you in the corner and went after you if you sat in the corner. You had to sit in the
Mm.
cloud.
Exactly. That's why I said you got to be careful, because some people had to have something there to drive them away, or at least have some weapons or whatever.
Pretty much had to drive them into the fog because otherwise, no matter what you were doing somewhere else, the big guys would go chasing after the guy in the corner.
Yeah. That's
So if it was totally empty with no engines, it took you like 3 minutes to get them into the fog so you could start your raid or your attack. Didn't work out.
except for all the targets I You spawned in the fog, right?
Actually, one of them it didn't because it came after me
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah, I think there's one target that didn't spawn in the fog.
Okay. I'm not sure which one that was though.
Yeah, because I know they moved. The ships moved immediately. Pretty much as soon as the game started, the ships moved, and you had to get into the fog, and then they'd go back.
Okay.
I can't remember what target it was either.
I can't either, but one of them was nasty that way. And if you had no engines, you didn't get to the fog before they got there.
Okay.
Hiding in the corner was not an option.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Is there anything else that we should cover in the live show? Anything I'm missing?
Well, I think you started something, and I don't know if you covered that, Hefe. So you start saying that they want to normalize the pressure on the raid cycle. So we understand pressure is higher on the first raid, but what do they mean by normalize? Make it high throughout?
Did you just take the last 3 minutes off? You know, I think that's what we were just talking about. No.
Okay.
That's. I must have. You must not have heard me at some point. But yeah, that's what the slide's up there for. Yeah, and what people think about that. It just makes me think that we're going to continue to see new stuff dropping everywhere. Everywhere we're going to get upgrade, refit this, refit that throughout the cycle. And potentially, are they going to? I'm assuming that they're going to change the targets or the difficulty of the targets every time. That's the thing that worries me.
They're just hopefully just going to even it out. Like they're, of course it is Kickside, but the first one should. This time it was impossible to get ready for, and without spending money, of course. And if they're just evening it out, then nothing's bad about this. You'll be refitting the whole time, but we already are.
Yeah, but we also don't have the certainty on like most of the time, like not the S targets, but the lower targets don't really change from raid to raid, and that's more I'm worried about.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, to me, let's say if they don't touch months 2 and 3 and kind of leave it like, keep releasing these little limited specials like they did on Pillage, or the little shards they drop from top targets. Because I don't know about you guys, but I did the whole Eradicator cycle without refitting one of those cannons. I just used the original cannons and it did well, right? Well enough. But I think if on the first month they can tune the elite targets so you don't need the flagship, or so you can run without the flagship and maybe missing an armor or two on your ship, something like that. So it's kind of more doable. You don't need to drop $50-$60 to be done. That would be welcome, but somehow I don't think they would just be that nice.
The raid with the Hydras worked on the B sets really well, and then the following raid didn't. So that's the obvious answer that they already got right 2 raids ago, which was let the B sets be hittable by last raid's fleets. You have to grind more, but at least you can get a serious amount of points that way if you don't mind sitting in your seat.
You say it worked well. I think that was something players found and used. But I don't think you can say it worked well, because you could clearly see how many changes and things they were doing on the fly to increase participation, because it tanked. First raid of the siege cycle, and I think even this one, it kind of tanked. They started doing all sorts of things to bring people into the raid.
I agree they're messing it up, but what I'm saying is I think the secret to evening it out is the B sets being doable by the previous raid, no matter what. That can't be that hard to get right. You just go, okay, you're going to take a bit of damage, but you'll be able to grind through the B sets with your old fleet as a transition until you got your A set or your S set fleet ready. That worked. but then they messed it up the last raid.
Yeah, that's what they did. You could use your hydras in the first cycle, the first raid of that cycle. Then the next raid, there was more damage.
Yeah.
I could do them instant repair on the map. Then I had to dock them all the time, so I gave up.
But you're talking
Yeah.
about the 60s. I think what he was saying is just that on the first raid, the Hydras could actually do the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we're talking
because
about.
I don't think, were you
That's
still
not what
doing
I-
80s with the Hydras on the second raid? Well,
No,
No.
they were being
No,
trashed.
that the first raid is when you could do some of the.
Yeah,
You could do stuff with your old fleet. The second raid you couldn't.
correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could
So
use your
that-
hydras instant
That's
map
a good
repair.
strategy. I don't. They should have just kept that going this time.
Well, the previous team had the strategy that I quite liked, but they only applied that for 2 raids, and then Golden Doodle took over, and things changed. But they were doing it so the new raid of a cycle still had, I think, was one top target from the previous cycle. So if you had finished your fleet, you could go in, and I remember that on the skirmish cycle, we still had like a top target for Manticores on the first skirmish raid. That was worth like 2.5 million points on the map. No bonus, no nothing, but it's still 2 million points if you had the previous fleet, right?
Yeah.
And they
That
were
worked
doing
for me
things,
too.
so yeah, that to me was great because, like, okay, you invested, you used for 3 months. Now here's one target from the last cycle, like that. Even fits the storyline. Oh, there's still a few remaining, blah, 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 blah. You can go and hit for 2 million points or whatever.
I don't sure if that's what Hefe meant, but if they even it out by using this fleet, means you're constantly in refit mode the entire time and racing against the clock. The other way, at least you had a fleet ready, and you you could refit the new one.
Yeah. I think now you're sort of less of a race against the clock, but you're still racing against the clock. The other solution would have been if they set the pricing and the cost and the point values, because there was a point in time where the first raid in the cycle they didn't produce an S set. It was just the the B sets and below, and the S set popped out. There was a couple of raids like that, so you didn't have the highest end target that was an option and was in sort of the pricing formula for it.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
I
they
was
did
able to
that.
do-
They did that when they were running the 4-month cycle. The moment they went back to a 3-month cycle, they stopped doing that.
Yeah, and that brings up a good question. What are they going to do now? Now that Garrison has been removed as a raid cycle.
It's funny
Um,
because it was added, never happened, and got removed. So
Yeah, but are we still stuck at 3 months, or are we back to 4 months?
they just said on chat there on Discord that they're rethinking it. So they don't have an answer at this point. They're brainstorming.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while that they don't, what the next step is. So yeah, I don't know. So,
New
alrighty,
style with plasma damage.
you what?
Maybe they'll come up with a new faction that does plasma. That's-
Well, they already have that one. Well, they would have to come up with another raid style, but
another class.
yeah,
Well,
like
maybe that's what interceptors are. Maybe eventually they're going to turn the interceptors into a 3-month raid cycle.
well, except
But
for
then
they're
it's
supposed
kind
to
of
be
like
conquer.
skirmish,
They're supposed
right?
to be PvP, right?
Right. Yeah. And open water would already be what skirmish is supposed to be. So it doesn't make sense. Never mind.
Yeah, and they also tried at one point to do an escort. Well, not that kind of escort, but where you were supposed to deliver, some, some of the NPCs from point A to point B using your ships. There was a couple of things out there. I don't think they worked that well because it would have to be a different style than assault and garrison and skirmish and whatnot. So there's several out there that they could go for and that they've tried historically, but I don't think that one worked well. Where you got additional points for making sure that the NPCs made it from point A to point B while the Dracs were attacking you and yada yada yada.
Oh, I remember one where we had to rescue captured Forsaken fleets. Remember that? And once you rescue them, they kind of joined you in combat, but they were just paper thin. They would die on the first salve or something.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a cool cycle. It was the Borba cycle. To me, it's one of the best raid cycles they had.
Okay. Well, does anybody have anything else? We're run up to the hour, and I'm fine to go further. But does anybody else have anything else that we, like I said before, that we missed either in chat or here with the panel? And I'm going to put the link out there one last time.
I would like to make a suggestion.
Sure.
If you don't have the Saturn or the rock ring, and you can pick it up in Pillage, even though you're an MEX driver, if you have one Saturn built right, you can auto the 95 titanium targets for map repair. And if you're struggling getting titanium, that might be a good thing for you to do.
Okay. Do you have? Well, you're a Saturn driver, right?
Yes.
Okay. Has anybody? I
Nemis
have
is
not
right.
tried to auto with my Nemis. I can hit it for very little damage. The 95. I'm just curious if has anybody tried to actually auto it?
I
Hang
do
on.
it. Like when I'm out for titanium, I just put the Skyfires after 85s, the Manticores after 75s, and the Nemesis after 95s, all three on auto.
What do you want?
Mhm.
Titanium 95.
Built Saturns on can auto that guy with free repair. Somebody
Yeah,
might
yeah.
say,
sending
Well, Ben was saying one Saturn could, and I'm just
Oh.
curious if
yeah, somebody did
Ren was
that.
about to talk about.
I'm
happened
surprised
with-
that one
with the
Saturn
full
can without the other four giving the buff. I mean, just one ship alone without the aura from the other four for extra survival. Is
Yep.
that what you said? Wow.
Yeah, that I didn't see their build, but they said they
So
were doing that.
yeah, and Hefe, for your question about the Nemis doing 95s, it depends how you build them. Let's say because I have now that corrosive sync drive and stuff like that. So they need a fairly reasonable amount of corrosive survival to do 95s on auto because they
I'm just
dish a
sending my
lot of
fleet up there now.
corrosive damage. So
This guy did it by putting a bunch of them in the corner. He had empty hulls hold for the buff. So he had only one active one, but he had empty hulls for everything else.
I
I'm
sent
just going to hit a 95. See what happens.
just one Saturn in. One in the fleet. Nothing else. And I get map repair on auto in the 95.
Guess I haven't tried it since I upgraded them and stuff.
Yeah, as far as what we're seeing in chat, Candy Apple says one MX does the same as a Saturn, one hull on auto map repair. So, yeah, again, it's like what Ren says. It probably has to do with the build. Like I don't. My normal Nemesis don't have any counters. Just so it's. And then, as Ren was talking about with the corrosive. So, yeah, it really depends on what your build is. So, I'm trying.
I'm curious.
Okay.
It was just a suggestion to maybe help people if they're struggling.
Yeah, it's a
Are you
long
talking
build,
the
though.
95?
95 titanium target.
Wow. Yeah. Try
And-
it out.
In fact, Mike watched me do it when I first got my Saturn.
I forgot about that.
I'm in there now. See what happens.
I'm doing a 95 at the moment, but I forgot my flag Nemi hasn't got extended range.
Are you driving or autoing, Aussie?
No, it's autoing it at the moment, but yeah, that could be my problem. My flag's taking damage because it's getting too close.
How? I've taken no damage taking out the first fleet. Taken 0 damage from it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is my flag doesn't have extended range for the missiles, so it's
Yeah.
getting closer, so it's getting hit by the corrosive. Hang on. Oh shit! Yeah, that's.
I'm taking a tiny bit of damage now, but
Yeah, I should have left. I should have parked my Nemi my flag up the top and see what happened. I didn't even think about that. But
looks
this
like
way I'll
I'm
know.
gonna take about 10 minutes damage. Looks like
Really?
Yeah, my Nemi took damage. My flag.
for the sat, just the flat the one I just sent in one Saturn. And it's taking about 10 minutes damage.
Wow.
Yeah,
My
yeah, that's
my build
cool. Fleet.
autos them.
Better built for auto than me.
I'll screen share on the after show doing one if you want.
Sure.
If that'll help anyone.
Yeah, that didn't really work out.
Yeah, mine's taking about 10 or 12 minutes. So it's,
Um,
of course, I'm only taking 30 on the other fleet that normally takes it.
okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to repair one, and I'm going to put that one back out. Yeah, the Nemi, the flag took a heap of damage because it got too close. So,
Oh.
yeah, it's got shorter range, that's the problem. So I got in range of the scatter guns. So I'll do another one with just one normal.
I don't have enough missiles getting shot down, so I took 9 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
How many antis missile you
I have 2 MC3s or whatever they're called.
MDS threes?
Yeah.
I got 2 Phalanx fours.
Are they shooting down most of the missiles? Because I took most of my damage from the missiles.
Yes.
Try another one.
See,
Yeah,
why?
mine's only got
Why?
one.
I've heard that before. Why are the phalanxes shooting down more than MD3s?
Mm.
They shouldn't. They have the same accuracy, same.
In theory, the MSD3 should be doing better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean. It's not
try
from what I've heard.
I'm doing another one just with one Nemi, but it's only got one anti on it. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to work either.
I don't.
There's not enough antis on this.
Let me find one here.
Yeah, definitely not enough antis to shoot anything down.
Okay.
It was just a suggestion in that.
I just thought I'd try it, see what happens, just with one Nemi, see what happens.
Okay. While this is going on, is there anything else we should talk about on the live show?
I got nothing.
Okay.
I'm good.
Alrighty. Well, Ben, are you broadcasting your endeavors?
Yeah, I'm about to.
Okay. I put you on present, so.
All right. And this is hands off. I'm just going to scroll the screen for you guys.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
go on.
No, I was going to go off to another topic while people watch, but go ahead.
Go on. Like I said, just one boat in here. You know, if you want to discuss something, go ahead. They can watch us.
Yeah, I never got the pop-up in regards to the birthday. Did it seems that some people got 5 of the birthday chest? Are those the same as the bacon collector chests? Does
Yeah.
anybody open them up? Can they give the same amount of resources if you have everything claimed?
I believe so.
Okay.
I looked at one and it gave me the warning that said that you already have, so I didn't open any.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Because there's
18
the
minutes
bacon
damage.
chest. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I got 18 minutes damage. I'm using one enemy with only one anti,
Okay.
so that's not going to work for me anyway.
Yeah, I was just curious because there's the bacon chest, which you never get to the resources, and the bacon collector chest, you will get to the resources. So I was just trying to clarify it was the collector's chest versus the normal bacon chest.
I
and
got
it's,
I got 10 of these birthday gifts.
Mhm.
I'm gonna open one now because I haven't opened any. I'm gonna open one, see what happens.
Are you maxed out on the bacon collector?
I have 27 of the bacon collector chests.
And when you
But-
open them, they well, I mean when you open them, you get advanced resources, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my alliance.
Yeah, the birthday ones are just saying if I open now, I have too much titanium and uranium, so it might go to waste.
Yeah, I was getting that. But I got those also when I was opening the regular bacon ones, which you can never run out. There's some of the things that you can claim there don't have a cap limit, so you can never get there.
Yeah, so I only got from the. It's just like a bacon collector. I got 60,000 base parts and a little badge called the collector.
Okay.
So
That-
seems to be the
that's the
same
key-
I get
that's
from
the
the
key
bacon
part, the collector badge.
chest. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So they're bacon collector chests. So it's
With a different skin. Yeah.
yeah. So if you have that badge or historically have been getting that, yeah, all good. Wait till you need them. No reason to open them at this point. So how much damage you take, Ben?
3 minutes.
Okay. There you go.
And that's just at U1 also.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So it makes sense if you have an extra 14. Well, you might have tokens that pop up at places. But if you have an extra 14, 15 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see the tokens become more and more easy to get as far as the Saturn goes in the future. So you won't have to worry.
Was that just a normal Saturn or was that the rock? Or it doesn't matter?
that was the regular one.
Okay.
So there's no real reason to use the rock then. Because the rock has got another 5 days of build time.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I wasn't sure. I don't even know what they look like. I don't know what the difference is when they're on the map. Because I don't have them.
Yeah. A late joiner on chat is Raptor. I did mention earlier that you were getting auto repair on the 100 with bat rays. So if you want to, you can join the show, or if you want to describe anything associated with that, because I, like most people, were getting closer to a half an hour. I know you were using steelheads, but it would be interesting to see how that was. It's got to be a different build than I think a lot of players are using in order to get that going on there. So if you have any information, because it's sort of an outlier. I did it. Got about half an hour of damage, and most of it was on the flag, doing it on auto. Once I broke it down, though, in my dock, I was getting about 9 minutes of damage. So I don't know. Either we're going to end the show, or if you want to pop on or describe it in chat, is all good. But I think we're getting ready to wind things down here. So all right. Well, it may be just for the after show. So I haven't got a response yet. So all right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And if we see anything exciting between now and Wednesday, we might create a little extra show. And yeah. You say you got 4.5 minutes auto, but nobody else is. We're just trying to figure out how you're doing it. But we're going to end the show between now and we know about race. So all right, everybody want to say goodnight, and we will we'll see you all on Wednesday, if not before.
Night all.
Night,
Good night.
everyone. Good luck
Later,
in
everybody.
Pillage.